Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trello. We're going to talk Cavs and NBA, and we'll talk Browns, and we will talk Tribe. We'll talk about OU and the MAC tournament, and but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who won the 1993 NCAA Final Four? I'll have the answer later in the podcast. Well, the Browns added a big piece to their defense when they signed safety John Johnson last week, and they apparently faced steep competition for his services. Kind of a pro football rumor, as you can see. Johnson turned down significantly more money from another team to sign with the Browns. His agents told Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com. He was clearly very excited about the Browns team that is coming off their best season in the decades. It's a sign of how much the times have changed, that players are now taking less money in order to sign with the Browns as a destination in free agency. Imagine if someone had told you that a few years ago Johnson signed a 3-year, $33.75 million multi-million dollar pact with the Browns that included a $24 multi-million dollar guaranteed and was arguably the top safety on the market. After guys like Justin Simmons, Marcus May, and Marcus Williams all got franchise tagged by their respective teams. Johnson's AAV of $11.25 multi-million has him as the 8th highest paid safety in the NFL currently. Shortly before he signed with Cleveland, we heard the Lions, Eagles, and Jaguars were pursuing him, so it's possible it was one of those teams that offered him the bigger contract. The Rams opted not to tag him for financial reasons, but Johnson has been a really good player since entering the league as a third-round pick in 2017. He played every snap for a Los Angeles defense that was the best in the league last season and won't turn 26 until December. Johnson will start next to either 2020 second-round pick Grant Dilpit or Ronnie Harrison in 2021. Now, the Browns also signed inside linebacker Malik Johnson yesterday and today, and they also signed from the Rams Takarikas McKinley, and today they just signed cornerback Troy Hill. Now, keep this in mind: the Browns have the 26th pick in the first round of the NFL draft, and they have picks in all 6 other rounds. And in round 7, they've got 257, which I do believe is mystery relevant. And I will not be podcasting from downtown because I don't think they're going to allow me with Media Can Stitch, but I will be podcasting from the Murphy House, the home of my really good friends, Matt and Katie Murphy. And my special guest joining me for that one will be none other than my really good friend, who's one of my best friends, Matt Murphy. And that will begin on April 29th. And that's when the first round is. And I will also be podcasting rounds 2 through 7, Friday and Saturday, from Studio B, which is my man cave, my TV room. And leading up to 257, pick 257, Mr. Irrelevant. And I really feel the Browns are going to take a linebacker in the first round. So we'll see what happens, and tune in when the draft starts on April 29th. And I really think the Browns have really made some good moves during this free agency this offseason. Moving on to the NCAA March Madness Tournament, the Ohio University Bobcats men's basketball team got eliminated, unfortunately, Monday night as they lost to the Creighton Blue Jays 72-58 at Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Blue Jays took an early lead and never let up in this one. Damon Jefferson added 15 points for the Blue Jays after a cold opening the first few minutes before the offense, and Marcus Zagranowski in particular got rolling with a strong performance that built a double-digit lead by halftime against an upstart trying to spring a second straight tournament upset. The lead grew to 21 points in the opening minutes of the second half, and the Blue Jays never let up, never let the 13-seeded Bobcats, who went 17-8 on the season, get closer than 9 from there. But the Bobcats clawed their way back to pull within 11, 65-56. But it was not enough, as the Creighton Blue Jays went on to win by the final score of 72-58. The last time the Creighton made it to the regional semifinals, it was in 1974, and the tournament field had 25 teams. Now the Blue Jays, who survived a close call against UC Santa Barbara in the first round, are advancing to the second weekend, where number 1 overall seed Gonzaga awaits. As for the Bobcats, Dwight Wilson III led the way for the Bobcats with 12 points. The Mid-America Conference champion that opened the tournament by bouncing 2019 champion Virginia on Saturday night, but Ohio struggled to knock down shots nearly the entire way, shooting just 32% and 7 for 30 from three-point range. Point guard Jason Preston, who's in probable ascent from overlooked prospect, was an inspirational story coming out of the Virginia upset, struggled offensively to 4 points on 1 for 10 shooting, though he had 9 rebounds and 7 assists. But you got to give the Bobcats credit, because they did have a great season, and they'll be back next year. I think all 3 teams will be back in the tournament next year, and I will keep you updated on the tournament. I'll still broadcast that for you, so do not fret. We'll get to the Cavs and Tribe in just a moment, but right now, it is time now to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who won the 1993 NCAA Final Four? And if you said North Carolina, you are correct. North Carolina blew a sigh of relief when with 11 seconds remaining in the score, and the score 73-71. Chris Webber called a timeout, but there were no timeouts remaining for Michigan, causing a technical foul, and UNC hitting both free throws to take a game-winning 75-71 lead. They won 77-71. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Well, after a 109-105 loss to the Sacramento Kings on Monday night at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse at home, the Cavs had the day off yesterday, but they were back in action tonight as they took on the Chicago Bulls tonight at the United Center. The Cavs beat the Chicago Bulls 103-94 tonight at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Darius Garland led the way for the Cavs with 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 9 assists. Jared Allen, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. And Larry Nash Jr., 14 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. The Cavs will be back in action, will be on the West Coast tomorrow night in Los Angeles to take on the Lakers tomorrow night at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Tip-off for tomorrow night's game is at 10:30 p.m. on Fox Sports Ohio, and you can hear the game on the radio home of the Cavs, WTAM 1100, and on the sister station, 100.7 WMMS. Moving on to the Tribe, We're going to talk about yesterday's game. The Tribe got shut out by the Giants 7-0 yesterday at Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona. Zach Plesac was on the hill for the Tribe yesterday. Plesac went 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 6 earned runs, and struck out 3 batters. Then the bullpen took over, but things did not go well for the Tribe in this one, as the Giants had their number, the San Francisco Giants, and right now the Tribe is down 6-5 in the 8th. The Arizona Diamondbacks at Saltfield Roads Talking Stick Park in Saltfields, Arizona. They will be back at Goodyear tomorrow to take on the Colorado Rockies. First pitch 4:05 on the radio home of the Tribe, WTAM 1100. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll be back either tomorrow or Friday or this weekend with another podcast. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day and every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.